HBO and ESPN's Max Kellerman said there's a very good chance Manny Pacquiao would stop Floyd Mayweather if they were to rematch. Stay tuned. Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. What up, fight world? It's your boy Ego and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button, also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. Now, we working. Shout out to all the donations, all the people on Patreon holding it down. We got a lot coming. Now, I watched the clip from ESPN's First Take. I really don't watch First Take anymore. I used to, but it's crazy. Max Kellerman's on there, replaced Skip Bayless, who went over to Fox, and they were talking boxing. And see, this is one of the reasons I don't watch First Take, is because boxing is my favorite sport. So that's primary above everything. UFC, baseball, anything like that. I do watch a lot of other sports, but I don't really get my information from those sports from ESPN, and they don't really talk about boxing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in the game now, so I get information, and I follow a lot of sports pages on Instagram. I have a popular Instagram myself, stuff like that. So I mean, there's not really a need for it, and it's just like a lot of just yelling, debating, and it's played up. And then when in the case of boxing, I don't really feel like ESPN, they talk more about Mayweather McGregor, but, well, for example, this example, again, I don't really watch it, but I can imagine. Let's say ESPN First Take, they're always talking about Mayweather McGregor. They're going to give these opinions about, oh, this fight, it does all this for boxing, but you're talking more about that in hyperbole, like Pacquiao fighting Mayweather in a rematch, etc., than talking about the fights you do want to see, like, let's say Joshua Klitschko 2 or Canelo Triple G. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my spin on it. But anyway, in this ESPN First Take clip, you guys can hunt it down. I'll try to put the link in the description if I can remember. Max Kellerman, Stephen A. Smith, they're talking about a rematch. And I'm going to get to the hypocrisy of a rematch too. But in it, Max Kellerman, in his diatribe, he said that Floyd hasn't fought in 3 years, which is false, but he fought in September. Well, actually, what he's saying, I guess, makes sense, because he says he will have not fought in boxing, like a boxer, even though fighting's fighting. And the Conor McGregor fight, whatever you think about it, Conor 0-0, doesn't have a chance or whatever, still, Floyd's not out of his element. So, actually, what he said, it is kind of false, to be honest, because he fought in September 2015 against Berto. He fought Pacquiao that year. He did take 2 years off, but now he'll be back before September. So it's really like 2 years, you know what I mean? And even though he's not fighting a boxer, he's not out of his element. Conor is the one that's stepping outside of his comfort zone and what he knows to fight Floyd. Floyd is going to be doing boxing shit. It's not like Floyd went over to the UFC and started grappling and then he's come back to boxing. Then it would make sense. But anyway, aside from that, he says because of Mayweather's quote-unquote 3-year absence from boxing, that there's a very good chance that Pacquiao would KO him in the rematch. It's just like, I want to give my thoughts. Max Kellerman. I've always respected Max Kellerman when he was coming up. You know what I mean? He was that dude. Like, I thought he had a lot of good knowledge. He was one of the people riding for Rigondeaux. Like, hey, his style is unique, but he can fight. He's skilled. Like, he was doing all this, and I'm like, he knows boxing, and I really feel like Max knows. But Max, if you're watching this, come back home. It's good. You know what I mean? Like, when I watch Max Kellerman now, it's like seeing a friend from high school, and then you see him later in life, and you guys, let's say you knew each other since the 6th grade or 7th grade, but you, after high school, you guys kind of stop talking, not for any particular reason, you just stop talking. And then you go to Target or Walmart, you see that friend, and then you guys just look at each other and act like you don't know each other, act like you don't see each other. I don't know if you guys have ever had that. That's happened to me, where it'd be a girl I used to date or somebody from high school, and you see him and then you just keep moving on because you it's awkward. You don't know what to say. You haven't talked to him in years, stuff like that. That's kind of what it is like Max Kellerman. It's like seeing a different person. Like, I know you, but I don't know this person you are now. Or in high school, there were people who were like bullied and beat up and stuff like that. And after high school, they switched their style up and started selling drugs or something. I'm like, really? This dude, he's a drug dealer now? You know what I mean? But he was getting slapped in the lunch line. But hey, you know what I mean? People reinvent themselves. So I'm just talking about referencing people who change, and like, you weren't that person in high school. Like, if you ask anyone who knows me, I've always been the same one. I've been like, I'm real, you know what I mean? I was a class clown, telling jokes, still smart and articulate, you know what I mean? Like, make people laugh. This has always been my MO. I didn't just get out of high school and then go somewhere else and then people didn't know me or something and then I switched up. But anyway, back to Max Kellerman. I think, stop it. What he's saying about Floyd and Pacquiao. Because, first of all, this is the hypocrisy, is people, even to this day, Oscar De La Hoya and HBO, and Max Kellerman's affiliated with HBO, stuff like that. It's like they go on. Like, I literally, you guys do the research. I'm not even, it's not even worth my time to ether certain issues anymore. You know what I mean? The Google, YouTube, Yahoo, Bing, whatever you guys want to use is a powerful search engine. You guys can check my credibility to see what I'm saying, if it's true, see if you guys do the research. Sometimes I get sick of putting it all together for you guys and researching and getting clips and stuff and worried about copyright. I'm not doing that. But Max Kellerman has said in the past on ESPN First Take, he stated that, oh, Floyd, he's the money guy. He waited for the best opportunity to maximize his earning potential with the least amount of risk. And he's basically saying Floyd waited till Pacquiao got old, just like all the casuals say, right? Floyd waited till Pacquiao got old, even though he's older than Pacquiao. You could say, oh, but his style, that's Pacquiao's fault. It's not Floyd's fault, because he fights with sense and ring IQ and uses ability and has a sharper defense. You can't blame him because he's preserved his body and didn't drink and gamble and do all the things that have plagued some other fighters in the past. That's not Floyd's fault. So I don't want to hear, oh, even though the guy who's older, he should be broke down and worn. He went to the Olympics. Pacquiao didn't go to no Olympics. He's been fighting all of his life. He has brittle hands. He has issues too. But his main issues is he stayed mentally strong and he didn't get his body broke down from being in wars because he lacks defense, like Pacquiao and guys like that. So you can't blame the older fighter for fighting smarter in a brutal sport. You know what I mean? Because the boxing game is, you could be undefeated for years and then you take one loss, people say retire. People said Danny Garcia needs to retire. He lost to Keith Thurman, man. Like, what? Why would he retire? He didn't get knocked down, didn't get knocked out, but that's how fickle boxing fans are. So we're not playing those games. Pacquiao, if he's older, it's because of his style or whatever. That's how he chooses to fight. That's his upbringing. That's his teaching. But now to flip it, before Mayweather Pacquiao ruined boxing, but yet Oscar De La Hoya 2 years later is still talking about it. Yet HBO and Max Kellerman, like I said, Max Kellerman saying stuff like to the effect of Floyd waited. So why would you want to see? If he waited to earn the most, it doesn't even make sense. If he waited till his earning potential was the greatest and all this, and he waited for Pacquiao to get old, then why are you now saying Pacquiao will knock him out when he's even older? You know what I mean? Pacquiao's even older and Floyd's even older. So why is it now you're shifting and saying, see, I told you, I'm very consistent. For me, like the people like Terrence Crawford, you guys look at my old videos, I've always been a fan and I've always seen the potential that he has in the sport. You go check the old videos, and some people will call that bias, but nobody has proven me wrong. When it comes to Terrence Crawford, I told you he's talented. I didn't say he's flawless. If I see something to nitpick or something that I need to critique, I do that. But overall, I like his fight game. And again, with consistency, the only reason I would change that is if I see him starting to regress or he starts fighting different or whatever. Like, for example, Robert Guerrero, he can box, but it was when he was in the lighter divisions. As he moved up and started fighting naturally bigger guys, he started to fight stupid to me. You can't fight Keith Thurman like you want to fight Berto or something. You know what I mean? It's just not going to be healthy, because at the end of the day, you're a guy who started off much lower than Keith Thurman, and Keith Thurman is a skilled fighter. So it doesn't make sense to not use your boxing ability and try to, yeah, I'm machismo, come on. All that Rocky Balboa stuff, that's stupid. And you've seen it. And now Robert Guerrero is fighting Omar Figueroa because he has to bounce back. And it's definitely a crossroad fight for both. Omar Figueroa has been out of the scene. So bottom line is consistency. The only reason that I would shift all of my previous videos and views that I've said about Terrence Crawford being a phenomenal fighter is if he started like slipping and he was declining. I seen that, but I haven't seen that. He's playing patty cake with an Olympic gold medalist face, Felix Diaz. He was tapping on him and sticking his tongue out. The boy is bad, you know what I mean? But Max Kellerman, he's almost said contrasting things. First, Floyd waited till basically Pacquiao got old, but now you're saying an even older Pacquiao is going to knock out Floyd. It sounds crazy. And it's just, I don't know what's gotten into Max, but that seems to be his new thing, where he just says these radical things. And it's like, this is the same dude that I used to watch and be like, damn, he's super knowledgeable, because he says these weird things. He said that even though, despite he even believes Mayweather beat Pacquiao, despite all that, he still gave Pacquiao the best fighter of this generation label. Like, how? When the two best fighters of the generation, if you said he's one of the best fighters, I don't have a problem with that, but the two best fighters of the generation fought when they fought, and we seen the outcome. And you agreed that Floyd won, but you still give it to Pacquiao. You see, that's like poor sport. That's like Kovalev. Oh yeah, Ward's the best fighter I fought, the best dirty fighter. Like, you just can't give a compliment. Oh, Ward did better, but it was Tony Weeks. That's those, where I'm from, it's called like backhanded compliments. Instead of just bowing down and being like, hey, when they fought, and Mayweather beat him. It's always some excuse, shoulders, and watch it in slow motion. Now with two healthy shoulders, Pacquiao will knock him out. Which leads me to my last final point, is this. If Max Kellerman really believes that, on your network, or one of your networks, Pacquiao made the plunge from HBO to ESPN, you know what I mean? And you're giving him this alley-oop right before his Pacquiao Horn fight. What a coincidence. And it's just like when a rapper has an album about to drop, and then they get in this notorious beef with another rapper and start making diss tracks. Like, oh, that's not to hype the album or nothing. So when you didn't have an album you were working on, you could have dissed that person. But conveniently and coincidentally, right before your album drops, there's some major leak or sex tape or nude pictures of Kim Kardashian right before she's about to launch a new makeup line or something. It's very coincidental. What a quinky dink. And like I said, my last point is this. If Mac really believes Floyd will get knocked out in a rematch with Pacquiao, you would have to ask yourself, why is Pacquiao fighting Jeff Horn? There's clearly better welterweights in the division, clearly. And we don't even know if Pacquiao gets past Jeff Horn. Like, Jeff Horn, he's sounded confident. He's a school teacher. We'll see if he could teach him a lesson. Obviously, he's not the favorite, but I didn't do a fight prediction because I don't know enough about Jeff Horn. You know what I mean? And I value my predictions. So I've obviously seen Pacquiao's whole career. I don't know anything about Jeff Horn. So I don't really know what he's capable of doing. His power looked cool, decent, but he hasn't fought no one. So I haven't seen that. And I haven't heard enough people vouching for him that I truly respect to make a prediction. But we'll see. We'll see tonight. Because Bradley hurt Pacquiao in the third fight. So Jeff Horn definitely can. He's definitely probably stronger at welterweight, even though he hasn't fought a top level guy. And then he's also younger. And Bradley was shorter than Pacquiao. Jeff Horn's a little bit taller. But again, one would have to ask themselves, if Max Kellerman really believes what he's saying, then why not fight someone better, proven better than Jeff Horn? You know what I mean? Jeff Horn could be all right, but we just haven't seen it. And his first step up is the ultimate step up against a legend. You get what I'm saying? Like Errol Spence, his first step up wasn't Pacquiao. His first step up was Kell Brook, who's also a good fighter, but Pacquiao's a certified legend. Pacquiao's done legendary things. He's done things that no one in boxing history has done. Move up 8 divisions. So why is he fighting Jeff Horn if he can knock out Mayweather? Why doesn't he fight a guy like Terrence Crawford, who's being considered this generation's Mayweather. You see why it sounds like full of shit to me? Because if you could do all of this, then why are you doing that? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you could, like, that's like me having a beater car that looks like shit, sounds like shit, it's polluting the air, it needs a smog check, it's overheating, and that's like, oh, I could get a Ferrari, I can get a Wraith if I want. They'd be like, why are you driving this then? If you could afford a Wraith and you could get a Ferrari and Lambo and all this stuff, why is this your car? You know what I mean? It doesn't really make sense. So again, if Pacquiao can knock out, if you really believe that, then you should be really skeptical and critical that he's fighting Jeff Horn. Let me know what you guys think. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you share the video, like the video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.